Right now at 5, Carl Junction mayor's comments about female city employees leads to impeachment charges.
And we've got rain chances increasing as we head into the afternoon. We'll take a look at what you need to know coming up.
Plus, a Kansas City, Kansas police officer with ties to Southeast Kansas dies in the line of duty.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Wednesday, August the 27th, halfway through the last week of August.
Here we are.
It has not felt like August at all the last couple of days. Not that that's bad, of course. You know, it's been a pretty nice break from the heat. And now we've got some much needed rain on the way. But for some folks, it might be a little too much rain. Let's start, though, with our live look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Skies looking to be mostly cloudy, and it's dark. It's difficult to tell for sure, but clouds already beginning to increase across the area. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin so far looking good, but let's see, it's 5 o'clock, so my math is terrible, but several hours from now, that's going to start to change as shower and thunderstorm activity begins to increase as we roll into the afternoon. So by noon, still looking pretty close to what we saw yesterday. It started in our far western counties, initially some isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two, but it doesn't take long for this activity to increase in coverage and then start bringing more scattered showers and maybe even a couple of thunderstorms across the region with some heavy rain, at least isolated heavy rain possible with some of the storms a little later this evening across the area before we really see the rain ramp up overnight into the first half of our Thursday. So that's some of the good news. What we talked about yesterday with our shower and storm chances, really not a lot of changes from that point, so we're pretty set. The other piece of good news, at least, is while we are getting the rain, and we may get a lot of rain in some places, we're not looking at any severe weather. I think that's so far the greatest relief out of all this. We do not need any severe weather. We had a rough severe weather season as it was, so we're just looking at thunderstorms with some heavy rain. Temperatures this morning pretty cool, and take a look at the big temperature gap here from Joplin to Pittsburgh. 59 in Joplin, but 53 in Pittsburgh, and you can see we got that little ridging here where we've got some warmer air in from the south. But up north, it's a little cooler. We've got low mid 50s up north, and then we get upper 50s to right about 60 in some of our southern counties, especially back into northeastern Oklahoma. Kids getting on the bus this morning, just looking at mostly cloudy skies, upper 50s. By lunchtime, again, further west, we'll start to see some of those showers starting to build in. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies, mid 70s, and only upper 70s today by the time the bus brings them home. But then by the time that bus does bring them home, scattered showers and storms start rolling in. So again, for just about everyone, we're going to be dry this morning, so don't let that fool you. The kids still are going to need that umbrella when they head off onto the bus because, again, by the time they get off the bus or start walking home, it is going to be raining. Mid-60s by 9, mid-70s by noon, upper 70s for our highs, back into the upper 60s to near 70 by 6. And again, the rain will be a little heavier once we go late evening, but another thing to emphasize, too, is our storm chances today into the evening are a bit more scattered. They'll become more widespread as we go overnight tonight into Thursday morning across the area, which we'll break down those details for you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks. Well, last night, an hours-long impeachment hearing recessed, still with no decision on the future of Carl Junction's mayor. Carl Junction Mayor Mike Moss is embroiled in controversy following allegations of harassment in the workplace. The hearing, which began around 6 yesterday evening, wrapped up for the night. KOAM's Samantha Walker was there and has the details.
A packed room at the Carthage Community Center as community members come to learn of the future of their city's government. The impeachment hearing featured legal representation for the city and Mayor Mike Moss, with City Council listening to arguments from both parties. Moss is at the center of controversy after allegations of workplace harassment. These allegations come from reported comments referring to female city employees as Steve's harem, a reference to City Administrator Steve Lauber.
Making these comments to someone else, how can I think that he could be my supervisor fairly?
An investigation into these allegations included employee interviews who claim Moss's behavior caused significant personal distress, strained relationships, and impacted their work.
To have everything I have done for the last nearly 20 years reduced to nothing more than his opinion of how I may have gotten my position was humiliating.
In July, following the investigation, City Council members voted to bring 4 articles of impeachment against Moss. The articles of impeachment say he's shown, quote, a conscious disregard for the proper order and discipline of the city, its code, and state laws as they pertain to the conduct of government. It goes on to say that Moss is not suited for public office.
It's demeaning to those individuals, and it's contrary to the protections granted to all city employees under your code. Violations of your code of ethics like this erode confidence in the government and do affect how your government is run.
At his impeachment hearing, Moss's legal team say he may have made these comments like Steve's harem, and that it may have been in bad taste. But his team argued the comments have been taken out of context and blown up on social media. They go on to say the allegations made against Moss are not about sexual harassment.
What this is about is voter nullification. Certain people don't like the fact that Mike's in office. They feel that his interests or his direction was different than the city administrators. They want him out of office.
Reporting in Carl Junction, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The hearing is now scheduled to resume tomorrow at 6 p.m. You can visit the KOAM website for more details on the hearing. A tractor trailer hauling an empty grain bin crashed into a railroad overpass on eastbound Highway 166 and 169 in Coffeyville yesterday morning. The impact damaged the overpass structure and traffic is being rerouted to 8th and Patterson. The impact knocked the truss off its mounts. Crews will need to reposition it on the bridge and complete required safety protocols. Estimated repair time is about 1 week. The crash forces drivers to use alternate routes while crews work to repair the damaged overpass. The detour will remain in place during the week-long repair process. A Kansas City, Kansas police officer with ties to this area has died in the line of duty, and now a suspect is in custody accused of intentionally hitting him with a truck. The fallen officer is 26-year-old Hunter Simonsick. He is a graduate of Pittsburgh State University from Galesburg, Kansas. Simonsick had formerly worked at the Southeast Kansas Regional Juvenile Detention Center in Girard. He'd been with the KCK Police Department for nearly 2 years. Investigators say a chase began after KCK police responded to a call of shots fired early yesterday morning. Police approached a suspect in a truck who drove away. Authorities say as he deployed his stop sticks, the driver drove toward the officer and struck him, then continued fleeing. Simonsick was pronounced dead at the hospital. The suspect is 31-year-old Dennis Mitchell III of Kansas City, Kansas. He eventually crashed and officers arrested him on suspicion of a number of crimes, including first-degree murder. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. President Trump takes on crime, the Federal Reserve, and FEMA all in one day. We'll take a look. Plus, the American College of Cardiology releases new vaccine recommendations for adults. And rain chances. Chris will take another look at our weekday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:08. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch, nearly 24 FEMA employees are on administrative leave this morning after those workers raised concerns to Congress. The Trump administration cuts had reversed post-Hurricane Katrina progress. The White House is defending the downsizing. Meanwhile, President Trump says he has a new focus on a new plan to tackle crime. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
This is 12 days. We haven't even started. This is going to be so safe.
After touting his takeover of D.C. police, overnight President Donald Trump continued his focus on crime, posting on social media that he's working with Republican congressional leaders on a comprehensive crime bill, and floating the notion of sending National Guard troops to other American cities, like New York and Chicago. Illinois' Democratic governor.
No one wants them to come, that crime is down, murders in particular down.
This comes as the president could find himself in a legal battle over the Federal Reserve after he said he fired Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook.
We need people that are 100% above board and it doesn't seem like she was.
In a letter Monday, Trump wrote there was sufficient cause to believe Cook made false statements on one or more mortgage agreements. Cook fired back, saying the president had no authority to remove her from the independent Federal Reserve Board, and she's planning to take legal action. The back and forth comes amid President Trump's ongoing push to get the Fed to cut interest rates.
We're very strong, and we should be lowering the rates.
Something Chair Jerome Powell has signaled could happen at their September meeting. Meanwhile, CBS News has confirmed over a dozen FEMA employees have been put on leave after raising concerns that Trump administration cuts to the Federal Emergency Management Agency could hurt response in the middle of hurricane season. Jared Hill, CBS News.
FEMA's acting press secretary said in a statement they are committed to ensuring FEMA delivers for the American people, calling those who raise concerns bureaucrats who presided over decades of inefficiency. Well, still to come, the MTV Video Music Awards announce more big name performers ahead of next month's show. Plus, we're tracking rain chances. Chris has another look at your Wednesday forecast. We'll be right back. Well, Keira Knightley investigates something suspicious in an upcoming murder mystery, and we're getting a better look at the lineup for next month's MTV Video Music Awards. CBS's Jared Hill has the details in your Eye on Entertainment.
Someone's gone overboard. Who did you see?
Keira Knightley is unraveling a murder mystery in the new Netflix drama, The Woman in Cabin 10.
Laura here's going to be spying on us.
The world awaits with bated breath.
Knightley plays a journalist on a luxury cruise for a travel assignment when she witnesses a possible murder. She's later told the murder didn't happen and that all the passengers and crew were accounted for. The film is an adaptation of the 2016 novel by Ruth Ware. The Woman in Cabin 10 hits Netflix October 10th. K-pop Demon Hunters is the first movie soundtrack in over 45 years to have 3 songs in the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The last film to hit that milestone was Saturday Night Fever. K-pop Demon Hunters is an animated Netflix movie musical that follows a girl group that doesn't just sell out stadiums, they moonlight as demon hunters, protecting their fans and the world from an evil threat. The MTV Video Music Awards are right around the corner, and we've got a look at some of the stars set to take the stage. Conan Gray, Doja Cat, Jelly Roll, Post Malone, and Tate McRae are among the latest confirmed to perform. Nominations for this year's social categories, Best Group and Song of the Summer, will be revealed on August 29th. The MTV Video Music Awards air September 7th on MTV and CBS. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
All right, looks cool. Let's head over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
And speaking of things that are cool, our temperatures this morning quite cool once again. We do have increasing shower and thunderstorm chances, though. Go over those details and how much rain we could see when we come back. Time now is 5:18. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:20 on this Wednesday morning, and we're going to talk about our rain chances because today into tomorrow we've got them, and we could get some heavy rain out there as well. So we're going to start going mostly cloudy across the area pretty quickly, and then by about noon, like I said earlier, the timing on most of this really hasn't changed. We start with some isolated showers, perhaps a rumble of thunder or two in our far western counties by the lunch hour. Most of us at that point are still dry, but it does not take very long before this activity pushes off to the east, and then we start to get more widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms. And that's the thing I do want to emphasize as well, is while it looks like there's a ton of rain across the entire region, or at least the entire Kansas and Oklahoma sides, that's not necessarily going to be the case. Some of this may be scattered in nature. In fact, you'll see it even better as we go a little later into the evening. So today, we see our chances for showers, thunderstorms increasing. We could get some heavy rain with some of those, but they'll be scattered in nature. It's overnight tonight, once we get past about 11 o'clock midnight. That's when we start to see the heavier thunderstorm chances, the ones with the heavier rain, really start to build in. And that's what we were talking about yesterday as well, leading into the morning commute, whether it's to work, to school, the grocery store, down the road, the mailbox, whatever the case may be. We're looking at very heavy rainfall as we get our Thursday underway. So here we are at 5, especially in the southern, almost 2/3 of our area. You can see this heavier rain. Again, like yesterday, I do want to emphasize no severe weather is expected. We're not expecting any kind of severe thunderstorms or anything like that, but some of these storms could produce some very heavy rain very early in the morning, which could then lead to some localized flash flooding. So that's the other thing you've got to be aware of for tomorrow morning. If you know the route you take to get wherever it is you're going in the morning is prone to flash flooding, we're back at that point where you just want to make sure that you're leaving in plenty of time to get where you need to and that you have an alternate route planned just in case, because you don't want to drive into those waters. You've got to remember, turn around, don't drown. By 8 o'clock, showers, thunderstorms continuing across the area, heavy rain, again, still likely with many of these showers and storms. And really, that is the biggest concern, is the heavy rain and that flash flood potential. And then as quickly as they moved in, as they spread out, as we go into the afternoon, they're just about done. We hit about at 1 o'clock or so. Once we pass the lunch hour tomorrow, showers and storms begin to wrap up pretty quickly. And we'll still be mostly cloudy, and we'll still be mostly cloudy on our Friday, but we will be dry for our Friday as well. So here's a look at the possible rain totals. This is the computer estimate. It's changed a bit since yesterday, but once we just showed you the future track, the heavier rain swath is lining up a lot better with where we're looking at some of the better chances for showers or for thunderstorms with that heavy rain. So some locations within that area could get 2 to 4 inches of rain as we head through tonight into tomorrow afternoon. So just again, keep that in mind. For this morning, though, we are starting mostly cloudy, low 60s by 8 o'clock this morning, eventually to the mid-70s by 11 a.m. And our highs today will be impacted, of course, by the cloud cover of the rain. So some of you may get just a hair warmer than this, but I think on average we're looking at the upper 70s for our highs to near 80. I'll have that south breeze 5 to 10. Heavy rain, thunderstorms, again, increasing as we go late evening and overnight. We'll fall back down right about 60 for our lows. Southeast winds 5 to 10. Again, showers, thunderstorms tomorrow that will also keep us cooler, low 70s. Still below average for a while here. We won't get closer to average till the start of next week. Labor Day weekend, some changes there, looking a little better. We're looking to be dry. And you saw those rain chances yesterday were only 10%. They were pretty low. They've been removed at this point, so a great holiday weekend, but temperatures heating back up briefly ahead of additional shower and thunderstorm chances next week that will drop our temperatures once again. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, new births are declining in the U.S. while death rates are rising. New data from the CDC shows from 2010 to 2023, the number of births dropped 10%. The data also showed deaths rose 25% during the same period, but those rates were greatly impacted by the COVID pandemic. The aging U.S. population is also contributing to the rising death rates. The American College of Cardiology has new guidance on which vaccines adults should be taking. The group says all adults should get an annual flu shot. Adults with heart disease should get a one-time pneumococcal vaccine and the seasonal COVID-19 vaccine. The RSV vaccine is also recommended for adults 75 or older, or for people 50 and older with heart disease. Adults 50 and older should get the shingles vaccine. Surprising findings about weight and the risk of surgery. A UCLA study found older adults who are overweight have a lower risk of death after a major surgery compared to people at a normal weight. Researchers say adults over 65 have different physiologies, and it's possible the excess weight may actually be helpful as they recover from surgery. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, the Girard School District celebrates the start of the year with the Campus Festival.
And we've got a cool start once again to our day. Rain chances increasing through the afternoon and evening. The latest coming up.
Plus, the Jasper Newton 100 Women Who Care chapter awards thousands of dollars to a local nutrition program.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Wednesday, August the 27th. And of course, yesterday the internet abuzz about Taylor Swift and
around the world. It was hard to miss.
It was very difficult to miss. And I've never seen. I use Firefox at home, and when you first open it, they've got like the little boxes with some stories. I've never seen them have like a double-sized box, and they had that for the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing. I've never seen them do that before. That's how big of a deal that was. So
absolutely,
congratulations to them. I guess interesting. Should be interesting.
Beautiful photos.
Yeah. If you haven't seen them, you got to check them out.
So yeah.
Hopefully maybe this will change the songs that Taylor writes too, because she usually writes about her exes. Maybe she'll write about something different.
We'll have to see. TBD on that one.
That'll be interesting for sure. And also interesting is the fact that it's August and it is still in the 50s to start our day. We're going to take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. A bit of a chill out there again this morning, but otherwise looking good for now. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline looking good as well. Then we head over to the future track. And again, not a lot's changed since yesterday, so that's some good news. We're still looking at the same timing, same situation. No severe weather is expected with any of this activity. We start initially with some isolated to scattered showers, couple of rumbles of thunder in our far western counties by about the lunch hour. So at least through the first half of today, most of us will be dry, but you still want that umbrella because as we head into the afternoon, it doesn't take long for us to get more scattered showers and storms. That's the thing about today. Right now, these are going to be scattered. They'll be possible anywhere, but it won't necessarily rain for an extended period where you are today. That will be increasing. Those rain chances increase tomorrow morning or overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, but we will continue with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Once we reach 2-3 o'clock, they spread across more of the region, more of us getting in on the rain. We're at 59 in Joplin right now, 55 in Pittsburgh. And as we take a look at temperatures across the region, this is what we've got so far. We've got some low, mid, upper 50s, and we've even got upwards of 60s. We got about a 10-degree range of temperatures out there. But again, we should be in the upper 60s for our lows. Obviously, nowhere near that, quite chilly. So, cool when the kids get on the bus, upper 50s, again, dry. And in fact, again, by lunchtime, aside from our far western counties with a few of those showers, will still be mostly cloudy and dry for most of us, mid-70s. But again, send those kids with the umbrella because when they're walking home or getting to the bus, coming off the bus, later today, scattered showers and storms out there and around 77. Our highs are headed that way as well. We'll go mid-60s by 9, mid-70s by noon. The rain, the clouds increasing. Keep our temperatures below average again into the upper 70s with a south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Again, shower thunderstorm chances increase gradually along with those heavy rain chances, which could cause some problems of their own. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, it's been 2 weeks since classes started in the Girard School District, but last night the RV Adderley Elementary students, parents, and teachers got a special treat. Games, face painting, bounce houses, and food vendors all at a back-to-school bash held on the elementary campus. The bash lasted 2 hours and was sponsored by the RV Adderley Elementary PTO.
It's nice to see the teachers, the principals are out here, just people from the community that want to support our school. So it's nice to see everybody just come together and be together as a whole. We have a great group of people that have came together to put this on. We have a great board this year. A lot of the teachers are getting involved, and it's just been a great support system.
Girard started school back on August 14th. Little Balkan celebrates its 40th anniversary this year, and to shake things up, the event added a scavenger hunt. KOAM's Ty Parks joins the hunt in this story.
History is all around us, and this year, Little Balkans brings it to life with a scavenger hunt.
There's some topics about Crawford County and when it was created, who was one of the founders of Pittsburgh, because that's a multiple option answer. Obviously, there was more than one founder. There's Pitt State trivia, there's Arma trivia, Girard trivia, Frontenac trivia, and we even have a question about Cherokee.
40 questions in all, ranging from landmarks that are still around to little pieces of businesses that survive the test of time. Angela Myers says this is a way to bring families together.
So I think part of it is it's a family experience, right? I was born and raised in Crawford County, so Dad could definitely know the answers from Girard. I had lots of little aunts, and my grandparents lived in Pittsburgh, so I grew up hearing a lot of that random trivia that at the time you hear it, you don't appreciate it, you don't take it in. But now as an adult, I go, oh, I remember.
Little Balkans has a deep history in the area.
So that was at times considered a derogatory term. But originally we were called Little Balkans because coal mining companies would advertise in the Eastern European bloc to get miners to come here. So we have a lot of Slovenian immigrants, a lot of immigrants from Yugoslavia, some Italians, some Germans. It became this melting pot.
Once the questions are filled out.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Get online to our Facebook page or our website, print it off. This is old school, so you can get it digitally, but you have to submit it in paper form. Anywhere you can buy a passport, so my law office, the chamber, Toast, Ron's supermarket, and the Memorial Auditorium will have a blue box, and you can turn your passport in there. You can turn your scavenger hunt in there. Just fold it up, cram it in the box. There's a slot.
Happy hunting. In Pittsburgh, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
This evening, the Little Balkans Festival will host its inaugural Pasta School. The class will feature 2 hands-on segments where attendees will be able to experience hands-on learning about pasta preparation. The Jasper Newton 100 Women Who Care chapter were on hand yesterday at King Jack Park to award $4,825 to the Webb City Farmers Market WIC program. The program provides $10 off at the farmers market, and the donation also helps vendors and farmers who participate in the market.
This is the second time we have given to the farmers market, and what brings us here is the WIC program. You know what? We understand that these people are going to really be struggling this year, so that extra $10 for them to use to buy produce or meats or any of the other products here is an immense help for them.
100 Women Who Care has chapters worldwide and regularly donate to charity 4 times a year. The Jasper Newton County chapter started in 2018 and has donated more than $92,000. The city of Fort Scott has some big changes on the horizon, including a brand new medical facility with a state-of-the-art emergency department. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, the city also has new homes on the way, a move aimed at attracting more talent and boosting local business.
We are really excited. We've been waiting for this for like 5 or 6 years.
John Tucker has been a resident of Fort Scott for 18 years. He says he's excited about the brand new emergency department built by Freeman Health.
Need an ER really bad, and especially the hospital. But the ER for me is most important.
And he's not the only one excited. Lisa Dillon, the housing coordinator for the city, says with this new medical facility, new homes are needed too.
We're hoping to add anywhere between 10 to maybe 20 homes with that opportunity.
Hey, that's wonderful. We need housing. That's a big need in this town.
Dillon says these homes will be funded by the Moderate Income Grant and Kansas City Housing Investor Tax Credit. She says through the funding, many people will receive help.
We're also looking at being able to offer down payment assistance.
City Manager Brad Mackin says this will take Fort Scott to the next level.
We have a new hospital coming in, plus we've got a couple of our empty buildings that may be getting filled with businesses soon. That's going to drive more people into our town, hopefully.
36% of our housing is actually in 1940s and older.
Tucker says he can't wait for the changes.
We're happy to help anybody that is going to come and build a house.
Reporting in Fort Scott, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The city of Fort Scott says they hope to secure the funding next year. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Powerball jackpot climbs to one of the biggest prizes in the game's history. Plus, Cracker Barrel scraps its new logo after days of public backlash and returns to its classic design. We'll take a look. Time now, 5:38. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, in Consumer Watch, the Federal Aviation Administration says it's getting ready for record numbers of Labor Day travelers at the nation's airports. The agency says more than 48,000 flights will take to the skies today. The FAA predicts tomorrow and Friday will be the busiest days of the long holiday travel week. Last year, the TSA screened more than 17 million passengers to break the previous record. And tonight brings another shot at winning the big Powerball drawing. The jackpot has grown to an estimated $815 million with the cash option of over $360 million. Now, that's the 7th largest prize in Powerball's history. And after several days of public backlash, Cracker Barrel announced it's scrapping its new logo and returning to the old-timer one. It's in a social media post. The restaurant thanked customers for their feedback, adding, "We said we would listen, and we have." Earlier this week, President Trump was among those criticizing the redesign. Last night, the president congratulated Cracker Barrel for going back to its old logo, writing, quote, "Make your customers happy again." And that's it for Consumer Watch this morning. Let's head over to Chris for another look at the forecast.
Yeah, we are starting our day at once again chilly and mostly cloudy. Rain chances again increasing as we head into the afternoon. Got a full look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 5:42.
We have new information about what caused a deadly accident at a Colorado dairy. An update in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. New details about an accident at a dairy farm in Colorado that claimed the lives of 6 men. The accident happened at Prospect Ranch in Kennisburg last week. The coroner's office confirming what had been suspected, that all of the men died as a result of gas exposure in a confined space. A final determination will be made after the results of further testing. And the names of all the men have also been released. You see them there on your screen. 17-year-old Oscar Espinoza Leos died along with his father, 50-year-old Alejandro Espinoza Cruz, and another son, 29-year-old Carlos Espinoza Prado. The Espinosas are also related to another man who died, 36-year-old Jorge Sanchez Pena. One person who knew them described the men as extremely hardworking and humble. Corn and soybean crop conditions are holding steady. USDA reports the corn crop is rated 71% good to excellent. That's on par with last week at this time. As for soybeans, 69% of the crop is rated good to excellent. That's up a point from a week ago. And it's official, pumpkin spice latte is back on the menu starting today at Starbucks locations in the US and Canada. The pumpkin spice latte is in fact Starbucks' most popular seasonal beverage, with hundreds of millions sold since it was launched. According to Placer AI, Starbucks US store traffic rose 24% last year when the PSL went on sale. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
All right, now let's take it over to Chris for a full look at your forecast.
And it's certainly feeling like pumpkin spice latte weather out there. The last couple of days, we've had some pretty chilly starts. Got another pretty cool start again this morning, but then we've got rain chances building in. And as we discussed earlier, we talked about it yesterday too, of course, not much has changed from yesterday to today in terms of the expectations and the timing on these showers and storms. So that's some good news there. The other piece of good news is no severe weather is expected. No strong or severe thunderstorms, but the thing we've got to monitor is the potential for some of these storms to produce very heavy rainfall, which could cause their own problems with some localized flash flooding. By noon, still on track, isolated showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder just getting into our western counties. Will be mostly cloudy across the region ahead of that. So when you head out the door this morning, most of you, in fact, all of you, will be dry, but you'll want to grab the umbrella because by the time you start heading home, kids start heading home from school, later when you're heading home from work, showers, thunderstorms, a bit more widespread out there. They're still scattered in nature initially, but we will have showers, thunderstorms beginning to roll through the entire area. By 5, getting close to that evening commute there, we are looking at showers, thunderstorms scattered across the area, so it's not rain everywhere all at once, but we will have that rain. Once we get past 5, some of the scattered showers and storms we have could begin to produce some locally heavy rainfall, but overnight, as we start to see that potential for some more widespread heavy rain out of some of these thunderstorms. So here we are at 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, so we'll be sleeping through a good portion of this. We'll have thunderstorms, and where these oranges and reds are, that's where we're expecting some of the heavier rain out there. So here's where it plays into what you're planning for tomorrow. If you know your commute in the morning takes you through an area that is prone to flash flooding. You'll want to make sure you're leaving in time in case you need to take an alternate route, and B, have that alternate route plan. You got to remember, turn around, don't drown. You don't want to go out in the morning, start your commute. If you see water over the roadway, don't chance it. Just turn around, find another way around, and make sure you've got that route planned out today for tomorrow morning's commute, so you're not scrambling or stressing trying to find it. And you can see where the heavier rain is in the southern, roughly two-thirds of our area by 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. That continues. Maybe some additional scattered shower storms behind all this through the morning. Some of those could produce some locally heavy rainfall, but the heaviest rain expected right through this corridor here as we head overnight and into a good portion of Thursday. Now, once we reach the lunch hour, it doesn't take long, maybe a couple more hours after that, before the rain starts to clear out, and then we'll clear out just a bit, but still looking to be mostly cloudy overnight and into our Friday as well, but we're looking to be dry for Friday at this point. So the rain, the yellows, those oranges we showed you, lining up with right about where the rain tracker is expecting some of the heaviest rainfall. We're looking some locations 2 to 4 inches of rain, and some of that may fall very quickly out of some of those thunderstorms with the heavier rain. Again, that goes back to the flash flooding concern, so just make sure you are prepared for that as we roll into tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy to start our day, low 60s out there by 8, mid 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Into the afternoon, again, initially in our western counties, those showers, but they begin spreading across the area, scattered showers and storms, and our highs today, again, below normal, into the upper 70s with the south breeze at 5 to 10. Into the evening, some heavy rain possible with some of those scattered storms, and then heavy rain, especially in the southern half of our area, really starts to ramp up overnight, back down to about 60 with thunderstorms across the area. And that'll continue again most of our Thursday, showers and thunderstorms gradually wrapping up afternoon. That's keeping us cooler as well, low 70s. We start warming up Friday. Our holiday weekend, again, those rain chances we had for the holiday weekend were very low. Right now, they've been dropped off. Even if they reappear, odds are it would still be a very low chance. So we're looking at a pretty good Labor Day weekend out there. Temperatures heating up, though, a little closer to or maybe a hair above normal before we drop below normal again by next Thursday and Friday. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with sports.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, last year, the Baxter Springs Lions gained valuable experience with younger athletes playing meaningful snaps throughout the season. And as the Lions enter 2025, these now veteran players are ready to win. A program philosophy that Baxter Springs had adopted the last couple of years is the acronym EAT, which stands for effort, attitude, and toughness. And over the offseason and summer workouts, the Lions squad has brought into the philosophy and shown up every day with that mindset to get better.
We want to win every day. We want to win the day, win the rep, whatever drill we're doing. It all starts in the summer. We're going to have 42 guys on our roster, and there was typically between 35 and 42 guys here every day throughout the summer. So maximum effort, everything we do, every rep, every play, we have a good attitude about it. Just play tough. We feel like if we do those three things, that the results, the wins, the losses, all those things kind of take care of themselves.
You got to be out here every day giving it all you got. I mean, you're not going to win games coming out here lollygagging around. You always got to have a good attitude. You got to go into the game expecting to win. You got to play hard, expect to win. You just got to be tough, mentally tough, physically tough. Football's a tough game. You got to be able to play hard.
The 2025 season will be head coach Jeff McCoy's third year at the helm, and after using the past 2 seasons to create the culture and set the foundation, the Lions are ready to take the next step and compete for championships.
Coach McCoy is probably the best coach I've ever had. I love him to death. He's helped me. He's helped all of us. Everything. He preaches brotherhood, so we all love our brothers because we go through everything together. And yeah, he's a great coach, and this team, it's gonna be good.
We've worked hard the last couple of years, but it really hasn't showed yet. We're ready for it to show this year. I think this is a special group of guys that we want to win so bad. We've been out here all summer working super hard. We're just going to show people that we've been working, and we're going to win this year.
Baxter Springs kicks off their 2025 season on the road against Riverton on September 5th. And that's a look at sports. We'll be right back. Well, a four-legged Steeler is keeping Pittsburgh International Airport safe in Pennsylvania and turning heads while doing it. The TSA bomb-sniffing dog named Steeler just won the agency's cutest canine contest, beating out competition across the eastern U.S., trained to detect explosives on moving passengers. this Super Bowl Sunday pup isn't just talented, he's a fan favorite in black and gold. And Naomi Osaka advanced to the second round of the U.S. Open with a straight set win over Great Minin on Tuesday. Osaka took the match 6-3, 6-4 in her first Grand Slam appearance since returning from maternity leave.
I can't play tennis very well. I've tried, and I mean, it's fun, but I'm just not very athletic. I've never been good at any sports, but some of those folks, man, what they can do is just incredible. All right, for us, I can tell you about our weather. It's not so incredible, but it is bringing us some much-needed rain. Mostly cloudy through the morning, low 60s by 8. We'll go into the mid-70s by 11. Now, by noon, our far western counties start seeing some showers out there, but it quickly begins to overspread the area. So by 2, 3 o'clock, we're looking at scattered showers, thunderstorms out there. Highs today into the upper 70s. Could get some heavy rain from some of the storms later this evening after 5 or 6 o'clock. And then overnight, more thunderstorms build in after about 11 o'clock midnight. And some of those could produce heavy rain as well. So localized flash flooding, again, is a concern. So you want to make sure you're prepared for your Thursday morning commute. If you know it goes through a flood-prone area or an area that's prone to flash flooding, make sure you have a backup route plan. Be back down to about 60 tonight. Thunderstorms for the first half of our Thursday. Some of those, again, with some heavy rain out there, and that also keeps us well below normal, low 70s. And then temperatures begin heating up. Our Labor Day weekend looking pretty good, into the upper 80s, so we're getting closer to normal, maybe even a smidge above normal. Then another system next week brings us some isolated showers and puts our temperatures back down into the 70s. Let's check your forecast. Got another hour of the KOAM Morning News up next.